How about now? Still no sound. Oh, is that better, Kim? I'm sorry, I forgot to turn the mic on. Should be better. Cameron joined. Good morning. Should do it again. Do you like? So yeah, I do like what I do for a living. But sometimes it's not really what you do for a living. It's the people that you get to work with. Or, I mean, I think it's a combination of both. Um, I like technology, but the the leg of technology that I work in is I like so I guess it's all about your personality and what you like to do. I like to fix stuff. I like to build stuff. I like to help people. Uh, I get a lot of self satisfaction helping people, and a lot of times it's strangers. I know one spring I had this wild idea. I had the people around me. A lot of them don't have equipment. They don't have chainsaws and pole saws and stuff to prune their trees. And of course, they saw me pruning mine, and so before it was all said and done, I've probably pruned half of the street's trees, for them or with them, um, just being neighborly. And one, I got this wild idea. I said, wouldn't it be uh, nice to, I said, there's a lot of people that are older and physically cannot, prune their trees. In the city here, if you don't keep your trees pruned off the sidewalks and stuff, they'll fine you. And so I posted something on the local kind of neighborhood Facebook page that if you needed help trimming your trees, to message me. And wow, didn't Blanca? Thank you for the follow. Thank you for joining us this morning. And so I didn't realize what I had done. And before, like, I had to take the post down because I probably had like 10 families asking if I would come and prune their trees. But I always follow through with whatever I start, and so every night after I got off work, and on the weekends and this took me probably a month, maybe a little over a month to get to everybody. But I did. I went to every one of the places and I pruned the trees for free. I didn't, at that time, the city had a program going that you could prune the trees and you had to cut the pieces like in 4 feet or 5 foot, something where you could pile it up and you could leave it at the curb, call the city, and they sent by like a crew that had one of those big chipping machines, and they would pick up all your brush and chip it into the back of a truck and haul it off. And so the very last job I did was a couple had been married a long time. They were in their late 80s, and the city had already fined them 3 times because they had these two huge, probably 50-foot trees, and they were on a corner lot, and they were blocking the sidewalks. And of course, they didn't have the equipment, nor did they have the physical ability to do it, and they didn't have the money to pay somebody to do it. So, hey, Joe, thank you for joining. I appreciate you joining us this morning. And so I went and anyway, I pruned their trees. It took me a week to prune all their trees because, of course, after I got through the front yard, the lady came out and my granddaughter's, she thought I had a business and I was just doing it for free. And my granddaughters actually came and helped me on several of them. I did have to pay them, but they would I'd cut and they would kind of drag the limbs out of the way so that I could keep cutting and not have to stop. But when it was all said and done, I'm thinking, man, that was a big job. I said, I'm glad we're done. And the lady came out. She goes, I don't guess this oak tree in my backyard it's hanging on their roof. She goes, you think that'll damage the roof? I was like, oh yeah. And I mean, this oak tree, um, I mean, the limbs were huge, and they had a huge limb right on top of their roof, and it hung over their back patio cover. And she wanted to know if I'd remove it, and I was really worried uh, about removing it because I was afraid it was gonna, when I cut it, that it would fall on the roof or fall on the patio cover and damage it. And but I got some buddies to come back with me the next weekend. We tied some ropes around it and kind of suspended it right. And thank God the good Lord was guiding me because I really didn't know. Like I said, I can trim my own stuff, but I'm not a professional tree trimmer, and I'm not one of those guys you see climbing the tree hanging from the rope. That's not me. If I can't reach it from a ladder and a pole saw, I'm probably not going to do it. But we got it removed away from the house, and they were so thankful. And the city came and picked up the stuff, and some of the guys that helped me because that was an oak tree, and they're like, "Hey, you think maybe they'll let us have that oak?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'll ask her." And I asked her, I said, "Do you want that oak wood?" She goes, "Oh no, honey, we don't burn the fireplace in our house anymore." I was like, "Okay." I said, "Well, you don't mind them guys hauling it off?" And so they ended up with a pickup load of oak that they took home, and I don't think they burned it in the fireplace. I think they were using it to barbecue with. But yeah, so that's a story. So be careful what you volunteer yourself for. But as far as work and technology, yes, I like doing it, and I think I like the people I work with. Um, but the biggest thing is the most part of our job is helping our agents um, be able to work when something's broken. And, a lot of that time is spent teaching them how to use the technology they have. They're always worried when they come to work for us um, that they might not be able to do the job. And the biggest barrier there is learning technology. And, our company's hired people that are, retired and, decide they want to work from home part time. And there's a lot of those people that they just don't have that technology knowledge. And so you have to be able to convey, uh, you know, what you're asking them to do. And you have to describe items to them because maybe they're not familiar with the technology lingo. So, but it's really rewarding when when you're able to help somebody and they're like, oh, I get it. I was helping a lady out of Miami yesterday, and she was just worried to death that she wasn't going to be able to change her computer. And we walked her through it in 10 minutes, and she did great. And so those are the kind of things. I mean, that's just little stuff, but stuff like that's what motivates me and makes me want to do that kind of job. Sorry, that was a little long answer and kind of got sidetracked there, but okay. Let's see. But that was a good question. Thank you. Oh, Casey's got to go feed. Okay, I get that. Them horses got to eat this morning. Let's see. Who wants to ask? Dylan, you just joined. We're doing question for question. I'll let you ask the first question. You got a question for me? Now it's on. Finally. Yeah. Did you have a question? Dylan, Darko, thank you for joining this morning. I appreciate that. So Darko didn't have a question. Okay. Floor is open. Who wants to ask a question? Anybody? Anybody at all? You can ask any question of me that you want, as long as make sure it's just, appropriate. Reed just joined. Hey, Reed, how's it going? Okay, so, wow. What is your favorite source of dietary fiber? Ed, I really like apples. I probably eat, not every day, but probably 4 out of 7 days I eat an apple. I love apples. And so, yeah, I would say that's my dietary fiber. And then I drink, I don't have, yeah, I got one of these. I'll show you. I drink pH plus water. I used to drink soft drinks because I worked for Coca-Cola for a long time. I got off all of those. I thought I got off. I would drink the sugar version. Then I drank the diet version. And then after reading about artificial sweeteners and how they, after a while, your body mimics the artificial sweeteners. Your body treats them just like sugar. So I stopped that and I just drink water, which is really good for you. And prior to that, I hated water. And so what's helped me get where I drink more water is I carry water everywhere I go. It may not be a full bottle, but I always usually have a bottle handy, and I have one on my desk, because what I found out is if you're thirsty and I have a cup of coffee, I'll probably grab the coffee before I will the water. So when I stop drinking coffee about mid-morning, then water takes its place. But yeah, apples. I love apples. Josito joined. Good morning. Okay, so here's my question to Ed. Let me think about this. I got to think of a good one. Ed, have you done any other type of work other than being a Lutheran minister? Is that what you've done all your life, other than the time you were in school? Good morning, Wisconsin. Well, I'll tell you what, Kim, I put out a challenge to all the YouTubers, and I think you're the only one that's shown up, and I appreciate you. Just wanted to tell you that. So we're waiting for Ed. He's putting in, the question was if Ed had ever done any other type of work other than being a Lutheran minister. Now, that excludes the time that he was in school. It's chilly outside. Yeah, it is, Casey. It was like, is it 52 or 53 here in Austin this morning, and the wind blowing pretty good. Iraq joined. Good morning, Iraq. Thank you for joining. Roll the window down and say hey. It's 53 there, yeah. $39. Ooh, that's cold. What they were saying, like in Cheyenne, Wyoming yesterday, it was like 40, I think is what they were talking about. Yes. He's okay. So you're a donut fryer in a bakery. Man, I couldn't work in a bakery. I'd be big as round as a boat. And you've been a senior team lead at Target. Okay. I worked security for Target a couple of years. Um, at Christmas time, it was just a side gig. Man, I want to tell you, if you don't know, Target is not the place you want to mess up at because they will put you in jail so quick. They don't even blink an eye. The 2 years that I worked security for them, um, they would tell new employees, "Hey, you see those?" And these were going to be cash register employees, and they would tell them, "You see all these cameras?" They would take them out on the floor and say, "You see these cameras? They're pointing right there at the registers." And so don't think about doing anything shady because if you do, we got you on camera and we will have you arrested and taken to jail. I think the second day I worked there, one of the new hires, their first day sitting and standing in front of the register and checking people out. She wasn't on the register 10 minutes. And they called the cops and had her arrested because she was stealing cash out of the drawer. I was like, talk about not a smart move. I've been, sports book writer, taking bets, not actually writing. Really? See? Now that's interesting. He was a sports book writer. Oh, in Vegas at the Tropicana. John, my sister's a lawyer for Target. Her team's never lost a case. I know. I'm telling you, they don't play. Uh, other places might let you slide or just slap your hand, but Target don't do that. Target will put you in jail so quick. And it's sad when you see somebody, thinking they got away with something, and all of a sudden the local police walk in the door, walk directly over to you and tell you you're under arrest and put cuffs on you and then lead you out of the store in front of everybody. And that's what Target wants them to do because they want to make sure everybody in the area sees what Target will do if you try to steal from them. So, yeah, not a smart move. Drake joined. Hey, Drake, how's it going, buddy? Ed, I would have never thought about that being a sports book writer at the Tropicana. That's crazy. Interesting, though, the things we learn about each other. Okay. Uh, good answer. I like that. Thanks, Ed. Okay. Wisconsin, are you still on the live? If you are, pop up, type something so I know you're still on the live with us. Okay. He may have dropped off. So the next question is going to be for John. Hey, Power T Army join. John, here's the question for you. Tell everybody where you're from and what you do for a living. The Power T Army. Thank you for joining this morning. Appreciate it. Tap on the screen, give us some likes, make sure that you're still there and you didn't just drive by. And if you are driving by, roll down the window and stop and visit. Thanks. I appreciate it. Hey, I've got a couple of new signs coming. I'll have to show you when they get here. I got them on the TikTok shop. Oh, great. Hey, Casey, do you have my email address? So, Casey, you can send me an email, like if you can share the picture with me there too. Uh, Send me an email to Dave's Shop, the number 2 gmail.com, and you can attach a photo. If you got photos of the truck, I'd like to see it. Okay, Wisconsin. I was asking John a question, but I'm going to ask you a question too. John, where are you? Tell everybody where you're from. Tell everybody what you do, and tell us something that we don't know about you. So you kind of got 3 questions. Sorry, I'm piling on. Yeah. Hell, where are you from? LOL. Casey thinks that's pretty funny. Bicycle at dinner. See how fun this is? Because these questions, Casey knows everything about me. I should have just asked Casey. Is that what you're saying, Wisconsin? John's from Melbourne, Australia. I knew that. I'm a learning capabilities lead for global tech consulting firm. I'm a learning capabilities lead. So, John, do you teach technology? Yeah, my manager. Your manager's in New York. Okay. And so John's looks like he's in some type of global tech. And I'm guessing, John, do you work from home? I'm guessing John works from home. I don't know that for sure. Maybe Sophie, both I teach and translate complex things to sellers. Okay. Interesting job. I mean, can y'all believe this? Think about what technology allows us. We have John, who's in Australia, all the way around the world, and he's joining a live that is in Texas. When I see that, I'm amazed at what technology does and how it can bring people together, and be in a positive way. You teach a lot of AI, okay? Yeah, that was the one thing that our company challenged people to do is learn AI. There's a lot of people that don't like it, and I can tell you, unfortunately, I think AI may have been a big reason for terminating a lot of us in the IT department because the rumor is that they've replaced us, or they're going to. This is a phase of replacing live bodies with different methods of resolving issues. I think they're going to have a real problem because people like to talk to people, and you develop relationships. And what happens is, or at least in my business, is if you help somebody and they feel comfortable with how you help them, how you talk to them on the phone. Some of the younger guys, they just want to communicate through chat. I personally like to get the other person on the telephone and talk to them what I call face to face. Sometimes through a chat, we can be face to face through cameras. But you develop that personal relationship with them. And what happens is the next time they have an issue, because it's a large company, they remember who helped them last. And, after you've helped that person 2 or 3 times, then you become their person. So if they ever have an issue, they're going to call you first. And if you can't fix it, then they know you're going to direct them where to go to get their answer fixed. Work closely with sellers to be more confident and to use AI to work faster. There are some real positives to AI. I use it probably daily. And I continue to learn. I'm not a coder, so I don't do code. But there's lots of things that you can get AI to do, and everybody thinks, "Oh my God, I can't do AI." You can do AI. Even if so Google has an AI called Gemini. I use that, and I also use the GPT chat. Both of them are free. I don't pay for the paid version, But if you're not currently using AI, use AI. Use it kind of start. I always tell everybody start off like Google. AI's been around a while. We just haven't realized where they're going with it. And in the last year, it's really ramped up. Holy moly! Cho joined. Hey, how you doing? Yes, I'm in the United States. We are broadcasting from Texas. Sorry, guys. This we have a new person who joined on TikTok. Thank you for joining this morning. You recommend me to move to a new country. You're a CIA agent, are you? You funny is what you are. That's pretty funny. So yeah, use AI. Try to use it kind of like Google. Ask it some questions. Now, always understand that anytime you're using AI, you still got to use your common sense because it does make mistakes from time to time. Thank you for the gift, Casey. I appreciate that. That's interesting, John, though, that you're teaching that. And you can get AI to do a lot of stuff for you. Like if it'll do schedules and if you have to write a business email, maybe you're not the best writer. A lot of times, and I'm not saying that you should copy paste AI, but type in what you're trying to get across in an email to somebody into AI and ask AI to rewrite it for you. And it'll rewrite it, and it may not be exactly what you would say. It'll sometimes you can tell it to give you 2 or 3 examples, and what it does is it goes, oh, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that. And then you'll do your own email, but it's kind of like asking a friend if you don't have someone next to you, and so it can do a lot of things. I can't figure out how to get it to sweep the floor yet, but I'm sure one day it will. Can you imagine if you could ask AI, hey, AI, go do the laundry. AI, go mow the grass. I could think of a lot of things I could get AI to do if it would do it, but it won't. So, but for instance, the story I was telling you about the musician that the guy moved here from Colorado. He's new. He's in Texas and New Braunfels trying to get a band together. He's really on his own. He's out trying to book his own gigs and get some venues, and he has. So he's just kind of starting out in this area. And when he mentioned the fact that he needed a logo or a brand or something, and it was going to cost him a lot of money, he didn't do it. So I was glad to be able to kind of point him in the direction of AI and just give him some ideas and say, you can take these ideas. I don't own them. They're yours. You can do whatever you want. Don't do anything with them. Use them as an example. So I've sent him 3 or 4, and we'll see what he does. But he, worst case scenario, he plays good music and he follows me now. So maybe he'll join one of our lives one morning. Wisconsin, you're back. Did you ever answer Wisconsin the question like, where are you from? What do you do? Elon Musk is working. I know. Cook dinner. Yeah, Casey, cook dinner for sure. There you go. AL drive. Uh-huh. Yep. Sure will. So give it up, Wisconsin. Where are you from? Spit it out. Okay. He's from Wisconsin. Works in a hardware store. All right. That's good. Good. So Wisconsin, I get to keep asking questions because it's my life. So you work in a hardware store. Is that all you've ever done? Because you look closer to my age, and so I'm sure you've done other types of work. You ever done anything a different job that we, plumber, electrician? I mean, you work in a hardware store, so you probably have to know something about what hardware, tools, handyman stuff. You worked in restaurants for 23 years. Oh, that's a tough job. People don't realize you work in a restaurant. Those people work their tail ends off. Keith James 841 just joined. Good morning. Morning, Keith. Keith, you're on the hot seat. This is question for question day, and I get to ask the first question. Where are you from, Keith, and what do you do? Keith James. You know, the last time I thought I knew a person on TikTok, yeah. Oh, I did know who you are. And that's exactly what I was thinking. So everybody, Keith and I worked together at Scott's. It was a lawn service. And he was the boss. And he's still in the lawn service business, but he's relocated from Texas. And man, long time no talk. I mean, I see him. We're friends on Facebook and stuff, and he lives in. Well, the last time I remember, he's from Georgia, and I think he lives in Georgia now. He used to live around the Atlanta area. I don't know where he's at now. Hey, Keith. So everybody, yeah, Jessup, Georgia. I'm on a pin. Hang on a second, Keith. Okay, so I pinned Keith. Y'all go check out his TikTok page. Give him a follow. Good guy. You ever have any questions about grass, plants, trees? That's the guy. That's what he's done all his life. And he knows what he's talking about. So if you ever have any issues like that or any questions, definitely send them to Keith because I don't know. Keith, what company are you working for currently? Because I know some of those services have merged and, bought out each other and that type of stuff. Andy Lippens joined. Good morning. So, it is true so far. I mean, what I'm seeing here on YouTube, same boss as okay, at True Green. Okay. You're probably moved up the food chain since because you've been with True Green for a while now. And they used to be one of our fiercest competitors too. Yeah, there's Ed popped in over there, Lloyd Miller, which is Wisconsin, right? And one of my besties, Kim, she's been on there. She's been on every morning this week, having coffee with us. Long time friend, 40 plus years. Right. Remote. See, there you go. Sorry, guys, garage is open. My granddaughter said, "You're out there doing a live. Can I open the garage?" Yes. Yeah. So here is the main reason that I want to stream on YouTube. I have a presence on YouTube and have since 2019. Got a lot of videos posted there. And that's where I started. And a lot of that stuff has come over to the TikTok platform too. However, that said, I never did lives until I tried it on TikTok one morning, wee hours of the morning. And that's where I met Ed and Casey and Cal Cop, and his name's Chris. But Ed, kind of helped me through my first 2 or 3 lives, and he's been a supporter ever since. So yeah, so that's kind of where that's gone and developed. And the live on YouTube. So YouTube's got a little different. It's you can stream from their app on your mobile phone. However, I have one mobile phone. I don't have two, and I really prefer using the computer because I've got bigger screens. I got big fat fingers. I don't text very fast. Editing videos is not as easy on your phone as it is on a computer. And there is some software I can buy. But, I'm trying to get to the point where I feel like it's justified before I buy it. And that company only is offering a 7-day trial, which I don't think is long enough for me to use it and make a decision. I usually have to use a piece of software for at least 30 days. I really prefer 60 or 90 because, anytime you learn a new piece of software, you'll find out that you think you know how to use it, and you just keep finding different things like, oh, I didn't realize it did that. Oh, okay, I didn't know it did that. And I know that this software, based off the stuff I've read, it's really powerful, and it'll stream up to 3 different platforms. This is just on their base paid software. You can stream to 3 different entities at the same time. So you could stream to TikTok, you could stream YouTube, and I could stream it to Facebook or Instagram. I've not really had much luck on Instagram. I have posted a lot of stuff there, but that for some reason I have a few followers there, but that platform hadn't really taken off with me. So the 2 I really want to develop is my TikTok and YouTube. Yeah, exactly. And always as a reminder, Ed, thank goodness, uh, he does a Bible study on Thursday nights, 6:30 Central Standard Time. It lasts for about an hour. It's got a great group of guys there. He does it in his garage like me, and we talked him into doing a TikTok live on that, and so I could that way. It was kind of selfish on my part, I guess. It was because I wanted to join, and so we've had a few people join. We have a lot of people pop in and out, and that's okay. You can do that too. But if you've never been part of a Bible study, and it's different than this live where we're interacting a lot because he's got guests around him that each one of them will talk about different subjects, and he talks about the subject, and so you're really just kind of listening. And I mean, you can if he asks a question or something, you can put your 2 cents worth in the chat, and he'll stop periodically and look at it and answer your question. And so if you haven't been doing a Bible study or never done a Bible study, it had been a long time since I had done one, and it's a learning process. But yeah, I say go. I do monitor live now. Yeah, I know the last time I was there, he does. So, it's kind of a learning process for all of us. I mean, it's been doing Bible study for probably 25 years. But now that, technology's jumped in there and we're doing lives, you know, it's a learning process, but Ed's doing good. He was a radio host and he does a podcast. So he's very professional. And he knows the Bible. So come join us on Thursday night. We have fun. There you go. So his wife does tells his wife, you go in there, the guys are going out here. Oh, that's great. That's great. Neil what? Hey, Keith, I don't know if you're still on. I don't think he is. I think, did you drop off, Keith? I guess he must have. Okay. I'll go, I'll follow up with him later if he didn't follow. But yeah, so um, anyway, I think this has been fun. I like the question for question. I want to do it some more because I think it really, well, one, I think it gets people to engage. And two, it helps us learn more about each other. And, the more you learn about each other, the better the engagement is. And it's easier to, what I think, draw people into the live because, there's a lot of people out there that I really think are looking for a connection that might be lonely. Um, maybe they're not super outgoing and maybe they're, it could be a million things. Maybe they're homebound. Maybe they have, I don't know. But I think sometimes behind the phone, behind the camera, people feel a lot more comfortable um, talking and visiting. And, you can develop some really good friends. I have. So far, I've been really lucky. And, I got Casey and Ed and Jimmy D. And yeah, I can name off 5 or 6 right away, but there's others too. And so I always encourage people, come join us. It's a different kind of live. I know it is. I'm not doing a dance and I'm not really pretty, but hey, Vicky, how you doing this morning? Um, but I can't tell you how many people have told me, they're like, really, you do a live in the morning, Monday through Friday? And I'm like, yeah. Well, what do y'all do? I said, we just drink coffee and visit. Was Chris on this morning? I didn't see him on this morning at all. He may have. I know yesterday I saw something where he said he had to go somewhere and help a friend. And so I don't know. Annie, too, good morning. Thank you for joining this morning. Um, so, I know Ed spreads the news. I see other videos where he pops. Pops in my name here and there, and other people too, and I really appreciate it. And I'm out sharing the word with people and sharing the live and trying to get people to understand that you can join our live. We're not going to sell you anything. It's not multi-level marketing. We don't do any of that. We just drink coffee and visit, and it's pretty low key. And any subjects that you want to talk about, we can as long, like I always tell everybody, you have to be appropriate, because if you're not going to be appropriate, you're not going to be on this live. But yeah, so yeah, exactly. And that's Ed made the point one time when I said, well, I don't know, there's only like one person on here. And what you have to realize is it don't matter what that number says up there. That doesn't matter. It really doesn't. People are going to pop in and out of your lives. They're going to, the ones that want or are looking for a group, they'll stay. The ones that are just finger swapping, they'll go, and that's okay. You can do that. Anna, thank you for joining. And what I saw, especially like when we were on the Thursday Bible studies, I didn't know if anybody would join. And surprisingly, people would pop in and pop out. But, like 100 people in an hour popped into that live and stayed for a certain amount of time. Maybe they stayed only long enough to realize they didn't want to be part of the Bible study. But some of them, I think, stay long enough to hear something, to be a part of something. And then, maybe they move on, maybe they have to leave. I don't know. We don't get to interact with everybody. But just the fact that there's a group of people out there reaching out to other people. And, over time, you don't know who all you reach. But I still think it's a good thing. And I'm going to be retired, so guess what I'm going to be doing? Lives. And so, yeah, I kind of think that this is what I'm going to do in my retirement. And so I'd like to, if there was 3 people or 4 people and that's all there ever was, then that's what there would be. If there's, 100 people, that'll be okay too. So anyway, I thank everybody for joining the live. It is 6:51. Great conversation. We're going to do some more of this question for question. I was just so you know, I don't have all these great ideas. Something pops into my mind a lot of times, and I have AI up on the computer, and I just ask it a question, and boop, it comes up. Hey, well, have you thought about this or thought about that? And it'll give you maybe some examples. So if you're not using AI and you have the access to a computer, start playing with it. Like I said, if you have, everybody has Google, and Google is AI, and you could start there. But Google also has, it's called Gemini, and it's just another app in that family. It's free. Check that out. Gemini is really good for making logos and stuff. GPT chat is not, I mean, it'll make logos, but I think there's a lot more people using it, so it's a lot slower. And GPT chat has limitations on how many questions you can ask. If you ask too many, it says, hey, you've run out of free questions and you got to wait a while and come back to it. But Gemini's never give me that. So I'll use both depending on what I'm looking for. But yeah. So AI is here to stay, I think. I hope it doesn't replace too many people's jobs. But it might be, it could be helpful as long as all the humans remain in control. Ask yourself, oh, I love that saying. What's the most excellent thing you can do today? If you think about that, what's the most excellent thing you could do? That's wide open. You can do a lot of things. So I would ask everybody to really think about that. What's the most excellent thing you can do today? Say a prayer. Pat somebody on the back. Be kind. God. Hug your wife and kids. Lots of things. Okay, guys. Until tomorrow, 5:45 morning coffee talk. Thank you for joining. It was great. We had fun this morning. And like I said, we'll do some more questions for questions. If you ever have an idea or something that you would like us to try on the live, if you don't have my email, message me. It's daveshop2@gmail.com. You can always send me an email and I will respond there too. So everybody have a wonderful Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Don't forget, Friday evening we're going to go live. I don't know exactly what time. I've got to ask my wife. It's like, what time are we going for the little kids trick or treat? And it's usually earlier in the day, like before it gets dark. And the fact that next week, I don't know exactly what day in November, but that we fall back an hour. So we'll put out a reminder for that so everybody remembers. If you live in a state where the time changes, we'll be falling back an hour. Until tomorrow morning, everybody have a blessed day. Go do something kind. You never know when you're going to affect somebody's life or day. So until in the morning, stay safe. I'll see you in the morning right back here at 5:45. Have a great day. Kim, thank you for joining. Thank you for the support. Thank you for listening to me just run my mouth. Come back 5:45 tomorrow morning. Have a cup with us. Bring some friends, and we'll talk again tomorrow. Thank you. Got to go. Bye.